Tips and other things to think about when planning a destination wedding. Planning timeline is a little weird. You have to make it far in advance so your guests have plenty of notice, but you will likely not be able to make any final decisions like decor or timeline until right until the very end. It is completely normal for them to say, we don't make any of those decisions until 30 days out. Which may give you anxiety. You will need to rely on the venue's vendor recommendations. They've worked with them all the time, so they genuinely know the people that they like to work with. And if you'd like to bring a vendor with you, oftentimes it's a photographer, you may need to pay extra fees or have a permit or something like that. As somebody who does this often, it's kind of hit or miss whether a venue is really excited to have new people there or really hates when you bring in a vendor. The climate is extremely important to plan around, especially when it comes to flowers. They need to be resistant. You can usually ship your decor and stationery to them directly, so that way you don't have to bring it in your suitcase, which is great, but make a plan for where it's going after. It is best to keep this as simple as possible and use what they already have. Understand there might be different cultural expectations when it comes to service. I find that they tend to be a lot slower than in the United States. Also, tipping is a weird thing, so study up before you do it. If you are getting married on a beach, you need to be asking a ton of questions. When and how is the beach groomed? How public are we talking? What does it look like during that time of year? Wind is so important when you're thinking about your design, when you're thinking about mic setup. Pay attention to the end time, like noise ordinances or when the limits are, and plan for maybe an after party. If you can, get everybody to arrive 2 days beforehand, just in case something happens. Overall, do your research on where you're going because that information comes in handy. Communication is very different and it really depends on where you are, but most of the time it's a lot slower. Using WhatsApp is very common. Be on the lookout for extra fees and push people to be specific about certain things. I've noticed the contracts are not always as detailed as in the US, and I tell this to all of my clients for destinations. Be prepared for more restrictions and limitations than you might see at a regular United States venue, but be prepared for literally one of the most memorable times of your life. There's nothing quite like having your wedding become a full family and friend vacation together. It's so fun and so many memories to be made. What other questions do we have? And if you did a destination wedding, can you leave tips for them? And as always, happy planning!